Let's face it, trying to stay on top of what's happening in important markets can feel, well, a bit like navigating a maze sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. There's just so much information flying around, it's hard to know what really matters.
Exactly. And that's really where we hope to help. We've done the legwork, sifted through the detail.
To bring you the core insights you actually need.
Right. And today we're diving deep into something that affects, well, a lot of us, one way or another, the allergy treatment market.
Yeah, think about it. Seasonal allergies, food sensitivities. It's pretty common stuff.
It really is. So, to give everyone a clear picture, we've dug into a comprehensive market report. We've pulled out the most significant trends and info.
Think of this as your kind of shortcut to understanding this whole dynamic sector.
Our mission today really is simple. Give you a clear view of the allergy treatment market right now, who the main players are, and, the key trends shaping its future.
And we want to focus on what's truly interesting, what's important, without getting bogged down in like super technical jargon.
Exactly. So let's set the stage. What was the market valued at recently?
Okay, so in 2023, the global allergy treatment market was already valued at USD 542.2 million.
Wow, okay. That's that's a pretty big number already.
It's a substantial economic footprint, yeah.
And the projections show some pretty strong growth ahead, don't they?
They do. We're looking at it potentially reaching USD 37570.61 million by 2032.
And that's growing at a rate of.
A compound annual growth rate, the key GR, of 7.20%. So think of it like a steady climb year over year.
Got it. A healthy growth rate. Now, when we talk about the allergy treatment market, what exactly does that cover?
Right, it's quite broad, actually. It includes everything involved in, diagnosing allergies, preventing the reactions, and managing the symptoms.
Symptoms from all sorts of allergens, I guess. Environmental food.
Exactly. Environmental stuff like pollen or dust mites, food allergies, drug reactions, seasonal things like hay fever. It covers hypersensitivity to all those various triggers.
And the treatments themselves range quite a bit too, right? From stuff you buy over the counter to more involved therapies.
Absolutely. The market includes a whole array of products. You've got your standard antihistamines and decongestants for quick symptom relief.
The things most people reach for first.
Probably, yeah. Then there are corticosteroids, which help reduce inflammation. And it also covers more specialized treatments like immunotherapies.
Ah, immunotherapy. That's the one aiming to kind of retrain your immune system, isn't it?
Precisely. The goal is to make your immune system less reactive to specific allergens over time, sort of like how a vaccine works for infections.
Okay, interesting.
And then, of course, you have delivery methods like inhalers and nasal sprays, getting the medicine right where it needs to go.
Makes sense. So it's a big market, lots of different angles. What's pushing this growth we're seeing? Why is it expanding so steadily?
Well, there are a few key drivers converging. First and foremost, we're just seeing more people affected by allergic diseases globally.
Really? Like asthma, hay fever.
Yeah, things like asthma, allergic rhinitis, which is hay fever, like you said, and atopic dermatitis or eczema. And this rise seems particularly noticeable in developed regions.
I wonder why that is. Things like pollution, maybe? Lifestyle changes?
You're hitting on key points. Environmental pollution is definitely considered a factor. And yeah, various changes in modern lifestyles likely play a role too.
And maybe just more awareness. People getting diagnosed more often.
That too. There's definitely been a growing awareness about allergies in general. So more people are actually seeking diagnosis and treatment than maybe they would have in the past.
Right. More people affected, more people looking for help. That adds up to growth. Okay, so let's talk about the companies. The report identified the major players, didn't it?
It did, yes. The analysis pinpointed the top manufacturing companies currently leading the pack in allergy treatments.
And who are they? Let's run through the top five mentioned.
Okay, according to the source material, the top five, in the order they came up, are Johnson & Johnson, then Allergo Pharma, Sanofi SA, McNeil Consumer Healthcare, and finally Genentech Inc.
Oh, okay. Johnson & Johnson. I mean, everyone knows that name. How big of a player are they specifically in the allergy market?
The report puts their market share at about 19%. 19%.
Wow, almost a fifth of the whole market. That's significant.
It really underscores their influence, yeah. A lot of treatments out there are likely connected to them.
So what's an interesting nugget about J&J from the report, beyond just the name recognition?
Well, they've been around forever, right? Founded back in 1886 in New Jersey. But what's key is their huge scope: pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and consumer health.
Right, they're massive.
And apparently their medtech sales saw really good growth recently. Things like contact lenses, electrophysiology products, surgical stuff. Plus, those iconic consumer brands everyone knows, Band-Aids, Tylenol.
Yeah, definite household names. Okay, next up, Pharma. That was maybe less familiar to the average person. What's their deal? And their market share.
Allergopharma actually holds a slightly larger share, according to this report, around 24%.
Oh, interesting. Bigger than J&J in this specific
It
space.
seems so, yeah. They're a subsidiary of the German company Merck KGaA, started in 1946, based in Germany, and their focus is very specific: allergen immunotherapy.
Ah, so they're all about that desensitization approach we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. They really concentrate on producing high-quality allergen extracts. These are used both for diagnosing allergies and for the actual treatments injections, which is subcutaneous or under-the-tongue drops, sublingual immunotherapy.
So a real specialist.
Definitely. And the report noted they're also big on educating doctors and patients about these therapies, which makes sense given how specialized it is.
Yeah, you'd need good understanding for that kind of treatment. Okay, moving on. Sanofi SA, another big pharma name. What's their piece of the allergy pie?
Sanofi holds around 12% of the market share. They're based in Paris, France, formed back in 2004 from a merger.
And they do a lot more than just allergy meds, right?
Oh, yeah. Big focus on diabetes, oncology, immunology, and they're huge in vaccines through their Sanofi Pasteur division.
So what's particularly interesting about Sanofi in this context? Anything stand out?
Well, what caught my eye was their collaboration with Formation Bio and OpenAI.
OpenAI, like the AI
It's
company.
the very same. They're aiming to use artificial intelligence to speed up drug discovery and development, their big goal. To be the first AI-powered biopharma company operating at scale.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty forward-looking. Using AI to find new allergy drugs faster.
That seems to be the idea.
Yeah.
It could really change how quickly new, maybe more targeted treatments come about. A potential game changer.
Definitely want to watch. Okay, fourth on the list, McNeil Consumer Healthcare. That name rings a bell, too.
It should. They account for about 9% of the market share. And interestingly, they're actually a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson.
Ah, okay. Part of the J&J family, founded way back.
Yep, 1900 in Pennsylvania. And their main game is over-the-counter OTC health products.
So they're behind a lot of the stuff you just grab off the shelf at the pharmacy for allergies.
Exactly. Think Tylenol, Motrin,
Right.
and crucially for us, Zyrtec, big allergy brand.
Tag Zyrtec.
And the report emphasized their focus on safety and efficacy, strict manufacturing, which is super important for building that consumer trust in OTC meds.
Absolutely. You need to trust what you're buying off the shelf. Okay, last of the big five, Genentech Inc. What's their market share?
Genentech holds a significant slice too, about 18%. They're part of the Roche group, founded in '76 out in California.
And they're known as biotech pioneers, right? Something about recombinant DNA.
That's them. They were really at the forefront of biotechnology, especially using recombinant DNA tech, basically manipulating genes to create new, often more effective biological drugs.
Seems very cutting edge. What kind of treatments are they known for?
Primarily, innovative treatments in oncology, immunology, and ophthalmology. Think major drugs like Herceptin and Avastin.
Okay, so maybe not purely allergy focused, but their immunology work overlaps.
Exactly. Their deep expertise in how the immune system works is crucial for developing treatments for allergic conditions too. The report also highlighted their focus on personalized medicine and working collaboratively across the healthcare system.
Got it. So those are the big five, covering a huge chunk of the market between them. Now, how do analysts actually compare these guys? What criteria does the report say they use?
That's a good question. The report laid out several key factors. First is their product portfolio.
Meaning, like, the range of stuff they offer, OTC, prescription.
Precisely. Do they have a broad mix? A diverse portfolio often gives a company a leg up competitively.
Makes sense. More tools in the toolbox. What else?
Market share, obviously, which we've just discussed, that shows their current muscle. Then there's R&D investment. How much are they putting into research and development?
Right, got to keep innovating.
Absolutely. Companies pouring money into R&D are generally better placed to come up with the next big thing in treatment.
And navigating the regulations must be huge, too. Getting drugs approved.
Oh, vital. Regulatory compliance and their ability to get new treatments approved efficiently,
Yeah.
that directly impacts getting therapies to patients. Sales and marketing strategies are also key.
Yeah, you can have a great drug, but people need to know about it.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the core stuff. Treatment, efficacy, and safety. How well do their treatments actually work, and are they safe?
That seems fundamental. Patient and doctor trust.
Totally. It directly influences whether people use the treatments. And finally, the report mentioned partnerships and collaborations working with doctors, universities, regulators as another indicator of their strategic position and growth potential.
Okay, so it's a pretty comprehensive checklist. Science, business, regulations, everything. Now, these top five are clearly dominant now, but are there others coming up? Any emerging players threatening to shake things up?
Yes, definitely. The report specifically called out several emerging companies that are, working on new approaches and could become serious competitors down the line.
Okay, interesting. Who should we be keeping an eye on? Who are these potential disruptors?
The names mentioned were Leti Pharma, Eller Pharma SA, Allergan Inc., Meta Pharmaceuticals Inc., and Novartis International AG.
All right, let's touch on what makes them potential threats. Leti Pharma.
So the general theme is leveraging modern R&D for novel therapies. Leti Pharma, for instance, was noted for their work in personalized immunotherapy.
Ah, tailoring treatments more to the individual.
Exactly. Moving beyond a one-size-fits-all approach to match a patient's specific allergy profile. That's a big trend.
Makes sense. What about Aller Pharma SA?
They seem to be focusing on refining their offerings with more targeted allergen extracts, maybe combination therapies, aiming for more precise or effective options.
Okay. And Allergan. They're a pretty well-known name. Maybe not just for allergies, though.
Right. Allergan is bringing its broader biotech expertise to the table, developing innovative treatments that could improve outcomes for allergy patients and related conditions.
And Meta Pharmaceuticals. What's their strategy?
Meta seems to be expanding its portfolio strategically through acquisitions and partnerships, basically buying their way into offering a wider range of allergy solutions.
Building scale. Okay. And lastly, Novartis. I mean, they're a pharma giant. How are they shaking things up?
Novartis is making pretty significant R&D investments, specifically targeting breakthrough therapies in allergy management. Given their sheer size and research power, they're definitely a formidable potential challenger.
So it really sounds like this rising tide of competition could actually be great news for allergy sufferers, right? More choices, maybe better treatment.
That's certainly the hope,
Right.
and a likely outcome, yeah. More players pushing innovation usually leads to progress. These emerging companies are definitely ones to watch.
Absolutely. Now, flipping the coin slightly, the report also talked about opportunities for brand new companies, startups looking to get into the allergy market. Where might they find an opening?
Yeah, that was an interesting section. The report really emphasized the, and I quote, increasing importance of self-medication as a key factor.
Self-medication, meaning people wanting to treat themselves more with over-the-counter stuff.
Exactly. There's this clear, growing trend. Consumers are getting more proactive about their health. They want convenient OTC solutions for common things like allergies.
Why do you think that is? Just busy lives? More info online?
It's probably a mix of things, busy lifestyles, definitely. Easier access to health information, like you said. And maybe just a general desire to, take control of their own well-being. It's driving demand for these self-care options.
So people want to walk into a store and find something effective without needing a prescription.
That's the crux of it. And that's the opportunity for new companies. They can really succeed by developing user-friendly, effective OTC treatments.
Like what kind of things?
Think maybe innovative nasal sprays that work really fast, or sublingual tablets, the ones that dissolve into your tongue that are super easy to use and give noticeable relief.
Convenience and speed. Sounds like key selling points for OTC allergy stuff. What else could new entrants focus on?
Well, leveraging digital platforms is huge now. For marketing, obviously, but also for patient education.
Using websites, apps, social media to connect?
Right. New players can reach a wide audience, provide good, reliable info about managing allergies, about self-care, and of course about why their product is good. They could also maybe focus on more personalized OTC solutions.
Personalized OTC, how would that work?
Maybe moving beyond just a general allergy pill. Perhaps something specifically formulated for, say, dust mite allergies or pet dander, based on common triggers.
Interesting. Tailored, but still OTC.
And it could be a niche. But really, across the board, any new company needs to nail the basics. Safety, actual effectiveness, and ease of use. That's how you build trust and get a foothold in this market.
So the takeaway for new companies is understand that people want to self-manage and give them convenient, trustworthy, effective tools to do it.
That sums it up really well, yeah.
Okay, so as we kind of start to wrap up this deep dive into the allergy treatment market, what are the main things our listeners should really walk away with?
I think the key points are, 1, this market is growing significantly and consistently. 2, The growth is being fueled by both more people having allergies and this big shift towards self-medication, especially OTC options.
Right. And even though we have these big established companies running the show now,
There's real potential for change. Emerging companies are pushing innovation, especially towards more personalized approaches.
and that competition could really shake things up.
Absolutely. It could challenge the current leaders and, importantly, likely lead to a wider range of better treatment options for people dealing with allergies.
And just to circle back to those numbers one last time, that projection of reaching over, what is it, $37 billion by 2032.
USD 300 and 500 and 500.61 million, yeah. It really drives home the scale of this market and the opportunities within it.
It definitely does. Huge economic activity there.
For sure.
Yeah.
And potential for a lot more innovation.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As we see this growing focus on personalized medicine combined with this trend of people wanting more control over their own health via self-care, how might allergy treatments evolve even further in the next few years?
That's a great question to ponder.
And what role could technology, maybe AI, like Sanofi is exploring, or wearables or diagnostics play in that evolution? It's definitely something interesting to keep an eye on.
Indeed. The mix of personalized health, self-management trends, and tech advancements. It really suggests some potentially exciting and maybe quite different futures for allergy treatment down the road.